Hey everybody, it's Tom with Path to Billions, helping you find a path towards financial freedom and a better life. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 financial mistakes people in their 20s make and how to avoid them. Now, whether you're not in your 20s yet or maybe you're past them, it's so important to hear these 5 mistakes because if you already made them, you correct course and get the issues fixed. Or if you're not yet in your 20s, you can avoid them altogether and set yourself up on a much better path. The first one is student loan debt. It's becoming more and more apparent that amassing that much debt early in life sets you back for decades. And for most people, that debt doesn't really pay off in the long run. When you're first starting your career, you're on the lower end of the pay scale, and you've amassed tens of thousands of dollars of debt. That's just a recipe for disaster. The average student loan balance is over $30,000 now, which is just insane. I was fortunate enough to drop out of college and avoid amassing all that student loan debt. However, if you already finished college and you have student loan debt, it's best you focus on getting that paid off as soon as possible to avoid paying all that extra interest. I'll go into that a little bit further in the video. Now, I'm not saying no one should go to college, but we need to start looking at college as an investment. How much you're going to be paying for your degree versus how much you're going to get out of it. Also consider things like, is it a high demand skill? Or even if it's going to be around for the long term. With the pace of automation these days, it's really important to see what the long-term outlook for your career is. I'm planning on making a couple videos in the future about what to do before, during, and after college to make sure you set yourself on the best path possible. So hit that subscribe button and be notified when that comes out. Next up on the list is buying a nice car that you can't actually afford. And I want to just point out that just because you can make the monthly payment doesn't mean you can actually afford it. I've actually heard it before, and it's simply not true. Unless you're buying a limited edition Lamborghini that there's only going to be 4 of, it really doesn't make sense to buy a brand new car. New cars depreciate the most right after driving off the lot, and the first couple of years of driving. So really, if you're looking for a certain car, it's best to buy a model that's a couple years old, and to do your research on pricing. Buy at the bottom of the depreciation curve so you get the best deal. Also, consider just buying a cheaper car altogether. Buying a Toyota Camry or a Honda Civic, it's going to last you forever and save you a lot of money in the long run, is really worth it. Third on the list is that luxury apartment with amenities of a 5-star resort. As someone that's interested in property development, I follow a lot of the latest buildings in cities across the country, and I find it amazing those type of amenities some of these places offer. You have yoga rooms, spas, dog parks, dog spas, dog groomers, indoor and outdoor pools, saunas, gyms. The list really does go on and on. And it might be really nice, but is it really necessary? Especially coming right out of college, you most likely were living in a dorm or apartment with roommates, so why not continue that trend, especially when you're right out of college? Get a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment and have like 6 roommates. And take all that money you're saving by not having a luxury apartment and put that towards the student loans that I mentioned earlier. By paying off these student loans early, you can really set yourself up for a huge amount of opportunity later on. Maybe after the first couple of years, you go and rent or house hack and just simply buy or rent a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment and then have other people rent from you. This way, you can actually get your mortgage or rent bill paid for by your tenants. That's a really nice opportunity. Rent and house hacking could actually be a whole nother video because you go quite in depth with it and the opportunities it opens up. But let's move on to the 4th on the list, which is not saving and investing soon enough. Now, the reason this is 4th on the list is because you want to cut down on your expenses as much as possible so you can increase your savings rate, start investing and saving as much as possible. Now, the reason you want to save and invest early on in life is a little thing called compound interest, which basically just means your money invested earns interest and the net interest reinvested earns more money. So, the more time your money is invested, the more money it earns. The more money it earns, the more money invested, and the cycle continues. 2 of the accounts you want to save and invest in is a Roth IRA and a 401k. Now, if you're fresh out of college with a decent job, it's a pretty good chance that your employer might offer a 401k contribution match. So you want to look into this. It's basically just the employer will match a certain contribution up to a certain amount. So you put $1,000 in, they'll match $1,000. And this is basically free money, so you should at least invest up to that amount. The other advantage of a 401k is that your contributions come right out of your paycheck, so you don't actually see that money, making it easier to spend less and save more. Also, make sure you're saving your 3 to 6 month emergency fund. And if you could save 3 to 6 months, and why not go for more? This is always good for building up a down payment for a house and other things that you might want to buy. The fifth one on that list is not hitting that subscribe button. But seriously, the fifth one on the list is not starting a side hustle or business soon enough. Now, I think there's a misconception that starting a side hustle or business, your goal should be retiring early or making $1 million, but really it's not. I think there's a lot of people that are more than capable of making an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month doing a small side hustle. And $1,000 or $2,000 a month can really help people. So I think it's really important to do. All you're really looking to do is monetize a passion or skill set you already have. So, for instance, if you're a web developer, you could do small freelance jobs on the side, or start a YouTube channel and teach people how to do web development. The possibilities are endless with the internet these days. You could start a small YouTube channel, make a couple $1,000s a month. You could start an Amazon business. There's plenty of opportunities out there. I think it's really important to bring in that extra cash flow. Again, the more money you make, the more you can invest, the more you can save. And then it really opens up opportunities later in life. The core of these 5 things is to help you do 4 things in your 20s, which is 1, spend less, 2, avoid bad debt, 3, try and earn more money, and 4, start saving and investing. All this with the idea that by having a large nest egg and emergency fund, it really gives you a lot of leverage at different points in your life. Say you're at a job that you hate, you have the opportunity to walk away and have time to find another job because you could live off your emergency fund. Or if you get laid off from your job, again, you have your emergency fund to fall back on. Also, maybe you have a kid later in life and you want to take off for a month or 2 to be there. You can do that. Or if you're looking for a new job, you can use that as leverage, because then when you're looking for a job, you can ask for more days off, more vacation days. It really just gives you the leverage to find all kinds of possibilities in your life. So if you found this video helpful on your own path, please hit that subscribe button, like it, comment. It really does help, and I'll see you on the next one.